Hey everyone, Simon here, and in this video I'll show you how to season coffee with APAX LAB mineral concentrates the same way that I season avocado on toast. So I generally explain that minerals are to coffee what seasoning is to food. In a way, they kind of highlight specific attributes and flavors, but also hide other stuff as well. So I generally use my water and blend in different minerals in the same way that I would season food. And I usually just use a whole bunch of different minerals to highlight different attributes, and then just use my knowledge of these different minerals in order to tailor for a specific dish. And in this video, what I'm going to do is prepare an avocado on toast. I'll show you how I would normally season an avocado on toast, and then we'll kind of like repeat the same process, but for the coffee that I just brewed. So for an avocado on toast, what I would normally do is probably add a little bit of salt for sure. Like avocado itself doesn't have much flavor, it's just got this nice roundness and fattiness, but it needs to have more intensity. So the first thing I would do is add a bit of salt to it. So I'm just gonna scoop out the avocado, put that on my toast right there. Don't mind the presentation. I promise it'll taste good. Here we go. So first thing that I would do is, again, add a little bit of salt to it. The amount of salt that you add is kind of like based on taste. I like my avocado on toast quite salty, so I don't mind being very generous with the salt. Then, the second thing that we will do is add a little bit of lemon. I think lemon just brings this vibrancy, the acidity that kind of like lifts all of the flavors of the avocado, and I can't imagine myself eating an avocado on toast without a squeeze of lemon. All right. Oop. So again, I like my avocado quite bright and lemony. So I don't mind using a lot of lemon for my avocado on toast. If you like it less acidic, that's fine. This is kind of like you add to the degree that you enjoy the most. Then what else do we have on this table? We've got butter. So some people like to spread a little bit of butter on their toast before eating their avocado on toast. That's not really my style. I prefer to add a little bit of olive oil. So I'm going to reach out for the olive oil and add just a little drizzle. It's going to help kind of like bind all of the flavors together. I like the flavors of olive oil a little bit more than butter, and I think it's also a little bit healthier. What else do we have? Maple syrup. That'd be great for pancakes, not so much for avocado on toast. If there's anyone out there that eats avocado on toast with maple syrup, there's something wrong with your cooking. And last but not least, probably my favorite part in avocado on toast, which is coriander. So I know this one is a bit polarizing. Some people will hate watching this, but other people will love seeing a little bit of coriander on an avocado on toast. I think this is kind of like the master's touch. Really polarizing, but I think to me this is the kind of like avocado on toast I love eating. So we've added salt, lemon, olive oil, and coriander. And we kind of like built on top of the natural flavors that the avocado had, and now we have this like final dish that to me is kind of like a lot better than what it was before. Now if we took this to coffee, so right now I've brewed a Kenyan coffee. It's a wash process coffee. It is really bright and juicy. It's got a lot of citrus notes and some floral notes. So we are going to use different mineral concentrates from APAX LAB. Some of them will highlight specific attributes that are already in the coffee, such as TONIK. It's going to highlight the vibrancy, the brightness, and the juiciness that Kenyan coffees can have. So I generally explain that TONIK to me is like using some salt and using some lemon. Because it highlights the acidity, using lemon makes a lot of sense, but it also gives so much more intensity of flavors to the coffee, which is kind of like what salt does at the same time. So think of using TONIK as using a little bit of salt and a little bit of lemon at the same time. So just a couple of drops. Again, I like very intense coffees, and I like very vibrant and really acidic coffees, so I don't mind using a lot of TONIK, but then again, maybe you like coffees are less acidic than this, and then maybe you just use less than what I used. So for a full cup, I used only 3 drops for now. I'm having a little taste. Okay. I think the coffee could be a little bit smoother. I think the aftertaste could be improved. It does showcase some nice floral notes, but I really want to highlight that even more. And this is when, for the avocado on toast, for example, we use the olive oil and the coriander. Well, coriander obviously adds this sort of like herbaceous, fresh floral quality, and the olive oil gives us this roundness and this nice coating on the avocado on toast. And for this coffee specifically, I'm going to use some of LYLAC. LYLAC to me is kind of like the coriander in the sense that it adds floral notes, although it's a lot less polarizing. I feel like most people would enjoy this, although half of the population hates coriander. This one should be less polarizing. But it's also got this nice texture to it, this nice roundness at the same time. It'll make the coffee more silky and coating, which is exactly what olive oil does to me. So for this specific coffee, a bit of tonic, a bit of LYLAC. So again, we're getting that juiciness, the intensity from tonic, and then we're getting the roundness and the florality from LYLAC, kind of getting the best of both worlds. And we could be adding a bit of JAMM as well in this coffee, but again, it would work great with certain coffees, but not so great with others. I think with this one, I mean, we can try, we'll add some, but I don't think it's the right coffee to add JAMM to it. I think it's going to mute some of the nice attributes of the coffee. It's going to mute the acidity. It's going to make it too heavy for my liking. And that's kind of what happens. It's got nice sweetness. It's really round. It's really heavy. But we've kind of lost the acidity that I really enjoyed in the coffee before I added this. So to me, JAMM is like using butter or cream and using like maple syrup or some sort of like sugary stuff. It really adds this layer of sweetness, so the coffee is a lot sweeter now, but it also comes with a lot more creaminess, a lot more body, and again, with some coffees, that's absolutely amazing, similar to how maple syrup and butter are amazing with certain food. Like if I'm making pancakes and not avocado on toast, I'm 100% using these two. But right now, again, for this coffee, I don't think that was the right choice. So this is literally how I see minerals for coffee. I think they work as seasoning. They kind of like highlight and hide specific attributes, and you just got to use them based on what your coffee is and what you want to get more out of that coffee. So again, with this avocado on toast, if you're the kind of person that likes to put butter and maple syrup on it, that's totally fine. You can do that. But again, for my personal preferences, I like to start with nothing, taste it, and then add the seasoning on top afterwards. So that's how I brew coffee. No minerals, and then taste the coffee, just add the minerals afterwards, just to taste. Does anyone want some avocado on toast, or is it all for me? All right. Actually, that made me hungry. Just for fun. Has anyone tried that before? No? Yeah. Don't do this at home. Maple syrup with avocado on toast. It's surprisingly not that bad. But again, that's not how I enjoy my avocado on toast. It's not as bad as it sounds. But again, yeah, I think it just works way better with lemon, salt, olive oil, and coriander. Wouldn't touch the maple syrup, wouldn't touch the butter. Same thing for this coffee, wouldn't be touching JAMM for this one.